Spain had to wait until the very last moments, but when the breakthrough finally arrived, it was enough to send La Roja into the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals. In a tense, tactical battle against Portugal, Spain showed patience, composure, and belief, scoring deep into stoppage time to earn a dramatic 1-0 victory. It wasn't a match packed with goals or endless chances, but it was a contest filled with discipline, high-level defending, and one unforgettable moment that decided everything. For Portugal, the defeat marked what could very well be the final World Cup appearance of one of football's greatest icons, Cristiano Ronaldo. After more than 2 decades of representing his country on the biggest stage, Ronaldo walked off the field heartbroken, watching Spain celebrate while his own World Cup dream came to an emotional end. Spain now advances to Los Angeles, where they will face the winner of the United States versus Belgium in the quarterfinals. While the scoreline may suggest a narrow victory, Spain's performance over the full 90 minutes showed why many believe they deserve to move on. Throughout the match, both teams cancelled each other out with organized defending and disciplined positioning. Unlike some of the tournament's high-scoring thrillers, this encounter resembled a chess match. Every pass, every tackle, and every substitution carried enormous importance. Portugal defended well and remained dangerous on the counterattack, while Spain patiently controlled possession, refusing to lose their shape or become frustrated. One of the biggest storylines heading into the match centered around Cristiano Ronaldo. This was his 27th World Cup appearance, more than 20 years after making his tournament debut in 2006. During that incredible journey, he scored 11 World Cup goals and built one of the greatest international careers the sport has ever seen. Even at 41 years old, he remained the emotional leader of Portugal, but this time the fairytale ending wasn't meant to be. Questions will inevitably be asked about Portugal's approach. Was it the right decision to start Ronaldo? Should Roberto Martinez have managed his minutes differently? Those debates will continue, but placing the blame on one player would ignore the bigger picture. Ronaldo scored 3 goals during this tournament and continued to fight for his country until the final whistle. Portugal's problems extended far beyond their legendary striker. The Portuguese midfield, expected to be among the strongest at this World Cup, never truly found its rhythm. Bruno Fernandes struggled to influence the game, and Portugal often looked disconnected in attack. Too many promising moves broke down before reaching Ronaldo, leaving him isolated for long stretches. Even football legends watching the match pointed out that Portugal failed to consistently provide service into the box, making life extremely difficult for their captain. Spain, meanwhile, remained calm. They didn't panic when the breakthrough refused to come. Head coach Luis de la Fuente trusted his system, and once again his substitutions proved decisive. Fresh legs injected new energy into Spain's attack, and eventually that patience paid off. The hero of the night was substitute Mikel Merino. In the first minute of stoppage time, Aaron Torres combined beautifully with his teammates before finding Merino inside the penalty area. The Arsenal midfielder timed his run perfectly, stayed onside, and calmly finished past Diogo Costa to score his first ever World Cup goal. It was his 11th international goal overall, but none more important than this one. As soon as the ball hit the back of the net, Spanish players erupted in celebration while Portugal was left stunned. It was another reminder that in tournament football, substitutes can completely change the outcome of a match. Merino needed only one clear opportunity to become Spain's match winner. Despite conceding late, Portugal's goalkeeper Diogo Costa deserved enormous praise. He produced several outstanding saves throughout the match and kept his team alive for over 90 minutes. Early in the game, teenage sensation Lamine Yamal showcased exactly why he's considered one of football's brightest young stars. Cutting inside with confidence, he forced Costa into an excellent save before the goalkeeper somehow denied the rebound as well. Those spectacular stops prevented Spain from taking an early lead and demonstrated why Costa remains one of Europe's elite goalkeepers. Yamal himself continued to impress despite not finding the scoresheet. At just 18 years old, he played with remarkable confidence, constantly stretching Portugal's defense with intelligent runs behind the back line rather than simply asking for the ball at his feet. His movement created space for teammates and highlighted the maturity beyond his years. Portugal did have opportunities of their own. Nuno Mendes came closest when his powerful effort crashed against the crossbar, reminding Spain that the match could swing either way. Then, in the dying seconds, substitute Silva had one final chance to rescue Portugal, but his header drifted just wide of the target. It proved to be Portugal's last opportunity as the final whistle confirmed Spain's place in the quarterfinals. The emotional images after the match may be what fans remember most. Cristiano Ronaldo embraced his teammates before making a lonely walk down the tunnel. Tears filled his eyes as he realized that his quest to win a FIFA World Cup had likely come to an end. Although the one major trophy missing from his legendary career remains out of reach, nothing can diminish what he has achieved for Portugal and world football. His passion, dedication, and relentless desire to compete have inspired an entire generation. Spain, meanwhile, continues its impressive tournament run. Remarkably, they have yet to concede a single goal, a testament to their defensive organization and collective discipline. Their blend of experienced leaders and fearless young talents like Lamine Yamal has created a balanced squad capable of competing with anyone left in the tournament. Now, Spain looks ahead to a quarter-final showdown in Los Angeles against either the United States or Belgium. Confidence will be high after another resilient performance, but the challenges will only become tougher from here. One thing is certain: Spain's World Cup dream is still alive, while football says an emotional farewell to one of its greatest icons on the sport's biggest stage. Spain continued to look like the more dangerous side, but one thing remained missing throughout the match: a clinical finish. Their attacking movement was impressive, the possession was controlled, and the opportunities were there, yet Portugal's disciplined defensive structure kept frustrating La Roja at every turn. It was a fascinating tactical battle, one where small details made all the difference. One player who kept grabbing everyone's attention was 18-year-old sensation Lamine Yamal. Every time he touched the ball, there was a feeling that something special might happen. His confidence, pace, and creativity constantly stretched Portugal's back line, forcing defenders into uncomfortable situations. Yamal wasn't involved every minute, but whenever Spain found him in space, the entire tempo of the attack changed. Instead of constantly coming short to receive possession like many young wingers, he repeatedly made intelligent runs behind the defense, creating room for teammates such as Dani Olmo and Pedri to operate in central areas. That movement became one of Spain's biggest tactical advantages. Portugal, however, defended with remarkable discipline. They consistently got numbers behind the ball, stayed compact between the lines, and forced Spain into crowded areas. Rather than allowing easy passing lanes into the penalty area, Portugal made Spain work for every opportunity. The biggest issue for Spain wasn't creating chances, it was producing that decisive final pass and finishing the move. Their build-up play was smooth, but the final touch inside the penalty area just wasn't quite there. Portugal also tried to threaten from wide positions. Nuno Mendes frequently looked to push forward from left back, while Bruno Fernandes drifted into wider spaces to help stretch Spain's defense. But those attacking runs came with risks. Whenever Mendes pushed high up the field, Lamine Yamal immediately looked to exploit the space left behind. Spain recognized that weakness and repeatedly tried to isolate the teenage winger in one-on-one situations. Portugal's midfield was forced into constant communication, deciding who should cover Mendes' position whenever he advanced. Those defensive decisions became increasingly difficult as the match wore on. Spain's best attacking moments often came through the middle of the pitch. Dani Olmo and Pedri found little pockets of space between Portugal's midfield and defense, allowing Spain to combine quickly before attacking the penalty area. One of the game's biggest early opportunities perfectly illustrated Spain's approach. After winning possession high up the pitch, Spain quickly released Lamine Yamal into space. His timing was excellent, but perhaps believing he had drifted offside, he hesitated slightly at the crucial moment. Instead of displaying the calm finishing that had impressed throughout the tournament, he rushed his effort, allowing Diogo Costa to make another important save. It was the kind of chance that could have completely changed the first half. Costa, however, continued to produce outstanding performances for Portugal. Time after time, he denied Spain with confident positioning and quick reflexes. One spectacular double save, first stopping Yamal before reacting instantly to the rebound, kept Portugal alive and reminded everyone why Costa is considered one of Europe's elite goalkeepers. Spain kept pushing. Pedri continued pulling the strings in midfield, delivering clever passes into dangerous areas, while Olmo timed his forward runs beautifully. Crosses flashed across the face of goal, dangerous balls were whipped into the box, but Spain just couldn't apply the finishing touch. The opportunities were building. Portugal, meanwhile, looked toward Cristiano Ronaldo whenever they entered the attacking third. Yet despite his reputation as one of football's greatest goal scorers, he simply wasn't receiving enough service. His statistics told the story. Ronaldo recorded only a handful of touches, managed 2 shots on target, and created very little because Portugal struggled to involve him where he remains most dangerous, in the penalty area. The problem wasn't Ronaldo's positioning. The problem was Portugal's reluctance to deliver early crosses. Several promising attacks saw Bruno Fernandes and other wide players hesitate instead of putting the ball into the box. On multiple occasions, Ronaldo found himself isolated against a single defender, waiting for a delivery that never arrived. For a player whose greatest strength has always been attacking crosses and dominating aerial duels, Portugal simply failed to play to his strengths. Even when Ronaldo finally connected with a dangerous header, Spain's goalkeeper produced another outstanding save to preserve his clean sheet. It extended Spain's incredible defensive record in the tournament and reinforced why they had become one of the hardest teams to score against. Analysts also pointed out another issue for Portugal. Too often, Ronaldo was the only player attacking the penalty area. Without additional runners arriving at the back post or midfielders crashing into the box, Spain's defenders could focus entirely on stopping their captain. Had Portugal committed more numbers forward, Ronaldo would have had far more space to operate. Despite that, Portugal still created moments of danger. Nuno Mendes came closest with a thunderous strike that crashed against the crossbar after a brilliantly worked set-piece routine. It was a reminder that Portugal remained capable of producing something special even while spending long periods without the ball. Looking ahead, there was also major off-field news surrounding the United States before their round of 16 clash against Belgium. Forward Folarin Balogun, initially suspended following his red card against Bosnia and Herzegovina, was unexpectedly cleared to play after FIFA suspended his ban. Belgium appealed the decision, but the appeal was rejected, meaning the American striker became available once again for one of the biggest matches of the tournament. As Spain continued its march toward the quarterfinals, the stage was now set for another blockbuster showdown, with the United States preparing to battle Belgium for the right to face a confident Spanish side that was growing stronger with every match.